Dave, while I've got to get your thoughts on the weekend's boxing. I was there in Belfast when the very controversial, very polarising decision from Marcus McDonald to disqualify Paddy Donovan against Lewis Crocker. I feel like everyone I speak to, they don't really know what they think of it. Like, what's your take on it?
Pretty much the same, to be honest. At first I thought it was a bit harsh, and I felt as though, but then also you got to look at it and think, well, Paddy, you put yourself in a position where you was open to get disqualified, and if you're going to follow the rules, you should have been disqualified, you know? Any good?
At the post.
Oh. I felt as though, in terms of the head clashes, I felt as though it was just like, they were both high. I think styles, Southpaw versus Orthodox, we always have head clashes, but also styles, Crocker was leaning over all the time, just marching forward, leaning over. And in Paddy's defence, his style is, even though he's a boxer, a fluid, sharp boxer, he does lean over his front foot quite a bit. And so when he's throwing, his head is going to be moving forwards and backwards, and it was doing, and they were bumping all the way through the fight. I think you were a bit naughty a couple of times with the elbows, but this is a fight game, and I thought both fighters could have been spoken to about the heads, not just one.
Do you think we're going to see a rematch now? It might not be the prettiest way to win, but Lewis Crocker is sitting on a world title shot unless the IBF decide differently.
I would want to see a rematch, but I think if you're Billy Nelson and Crocker, he got absolutely outclassed. He got schooled, and it wasn't because Paddy was running around the ring and using his footwork and skills. He was using his footwork in the pocket, and he was stepping out, and he completely bamboozled Crocker, and he chipped away at him to the point where the punches were hurting, and then you saw the effects where he starts getting dropped. I don't think they'll go anywhere near him. I'd like to see it again, because I don't think that, you can't celebrate a win on a disqualification and going into a world title fight on the back of a fight where you've got absolutely hammered for 90% of the fight and you've won because the other kid fucked up.
Yeah. If you're Billy Nelson and you're looking after Lewis Crocker, what do you do next?
I'm not taking that rematch. That's what I'm saying. That's why it probably won't happen from a fan's point of view, a neutral's point of view, a Paddy Donovan's point of view.
It is the biggest fight financially, unless Boots Ennis beats Stanionis and stays the weight. But it sounds like that's not going to happen.
That's a massive fight now, and that's what you got to look at. You've got to look at that, and I think if they put the numbers to him, that's the way that the fight could happen. But there's a huge difference in that fight in terms of what Crocker's got to do to win the rematch, and then he's got to kind of like look at it financially, or do I want the belt? No. Because if he fights Donovan again, the odds are he's going to get beat again, because it was that one-sided. I'd be shocked if Donovan doesn't beat him. Yeah. So then if he gets beat, he ain't fighting for the world title. So does he just sit on it, fight for the world title? If he wins the world title, then gets a rematch.
It's a massive if as well, though.
Yeah. But what do you want to do? The rematch is always going to be there.
Yeah, it's one of them now, isn't it?
So if you're looking at Crocker's point of view, the rematch is always going to be there. So if you can sit there and just wait for that world title fight, get the world title fight. If you win, you lose, regardless. Yeah. The rematch there for the cash that you're on about.
There was some controversy stateside as well. Now, the Gervonta Davis fight was certainly too late for me. I don't know if you watched the full thing, but I saw the clip of I think it was round 9, the knockdown that wasn't. Have you ever seen a fighter take a knee and a knockdown not be scored? I mean, it looked like he started counting and then stopped.
I think Mayweather did that earlier on in his career. I think when he did his hand or something like that. But I think it was countered. Yeah, that should have been countered. If you take a knee, it's countered. That's it. It's a knockdown. Regardless, you can't give an excuse and say, "Oh, my hair gel got in my eye."
No. I spoke to Peter Fury about it, and he was obviously boxing fans are quick to jump on the fact it's Gervonta Davis, he's the A side, and corruption shouts do come quickly. Peter put out the alternative Fury that maybe Steve Wallace was just a bit taken aback.
Yeah, refs are human as well, and he was like, what are you doing? You can be shocked. You can be shocked and wait, don't react. But it's his job to kind of like not be shocked and be in the moment and make each call as it is. So, it is a knockdown.
What do you think we're going to see from Tank going forward? I mean, a lot of people are saying he looks a bit like a fighter, sort of mulling over retirement. I mean, he said he's going to retire, and
He looks like a fighter that just can't be asked anymore. And I think that's where we're at with him right now. I don't know, and it's sad because he had the potential to be right up there, as in elite. But I don't think he's fought the fights that we want him to see. He's not broke out of that PBC. Yeah. So it's disappointing. And he's 30 now? He's not the young kid anymore. So he looks bored. He looks as though he's had enough of it, and he looks like a kid that's come out of the ghetto, got the money, and thought, you know what, I can't be arsed with this shit anymore. Fair play to him. He's cracked it. He's copped life. As long as he's happy, he's happy. But as boxing fans, for me, I'm left disappointed with Tank Davis's career.
Last thing before I let you go, what do you make of the Eubank-Benn press tours, the Tuesday, Thursday, all that?
Funny. It was funny. And listen, the characters, we know why they're there. We know why they became there, because of their fathers, because of their names. But now it's took on a new identity, this fight. They've got two characters that hate each other, and it's their characters that you're invested in as well. That's why it's mainstream. That's why it's not just people my age that remember Ben and Eubank. It's kids now that don't know the dads and aren't interested in the dads. They just talk about these two characters, and these two characters blended together are going to cause controversy, are going to cause newspaper column inches. When he's boxing on front and back pages, it was the other day. It's gonna get people talking, which is what you want. They say that all publicity is good publicity. The egg, whether you agree with it or not, I don't think he should have touched his face. No. I think that's out of order. If he just smashed it into his chest as he pushes him off or whatever, or walks off, then you had a good effect there. But it's even more controversial because he did it in his face, he did it in his head, and it's just taken it to another stratosphere and on eyes on the fight now.
If you were scoring the two press conferences like a fight, not just Eubank-Benn but Hearn, Shalom, who comes out on top?
Well, I'd say Eubank won the press conference, but in terms of teams, I think Hearn pulled it back. I think Ben dug himself. He was digging himself a grave in there. It's not his strongest point, to be fair.
It makes for a good dynamic, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it keeps it even.
Dave Coldwell, thanks very much.
Cheers, mate. Nice
Cheers,
one.
mate. Top man there.
Mate, nice one.